Yo, what's going on, guys? I got a very important video for you today. It's basically centered around how to analyze a team's tactical system. Now, for us as footballers, whether you've been moved to a new position or maybe you just want to learn more about your current position, the one thing we have to do is learn more about the tactical side of the game. And if you want to learn more about the tactical side of the game, the best place to do it is by watching the pros, because they know the game in and out. So in this video, I'm basically going to detail my way of basically analyzing a team's tactical system. So if you want to learn more about how to integrate into certain systems, I'll show you how in this video. So stay tuned and let's get into it. Okay, so for the first order of business, the one thing you got to do is you got to see the team characteristics as well as the details of the game. Now, I'll actually get into the details of the game first because that's the shorter one. But basically, the details of the game is you basically seeing who the team that you are basically analyzing, who are they playing against. Is it a big game or is it maybe a smaller team? Like, for example, if you support Real Madrid, are they playing someone like, for example, FC Barcelona, or are they playing maybe lower league opposition like Levante? And that basically gives you an indication of how they're setting up, because usually bigger teams adjust their tactics more when they have to play bigger opposition, whereas if they're playing the smaller sides, they just use their basic system and formation. So this is a good way to basically see how they adjust their system and if the system they use is their base system. Secondly, it's the formation. Now, to know this, you have to know certain formations and like the tactical side of it, and I post a lot of that on my Instagram. So if you want to learn more about formations in a short format, follow me on the gram and you'll see all that you need to know. Basically, once you know about a certain formations like characteristics, you'll know whether the team is going defensive or going offensive. For example, if your team's favorite team is using a 4-3-3, you know that they're gonna keep the ball a lot, high press. So it's kind of stuff like that. Like, for example, a 4-5-1, you know they're going defensive. So it's little things like that you must see at the beginning of the game, because that'll give you an indication of how the team is going to play. It would be wise to also look at the opposition's formation as well, because that will give you an indication how they're going to adjust to how, for example, if we're looking at Real Madrid and Levante, looking at Levante's tactics or formation will actually give you an indication of how they're going to adjust to how Real Madrid play. And then you'll have a greater understanding of the game as well. Okay, secondly, looking at the players. Now, this might be an odd one to some people, but basically looking at your team's players gives you an indication of the style of play that they play. Like, for example, if you're looking at Man City, they don't have very tall players, very strong players, big players, but they've got players who are quick on their feet, nimble, drift into little pockets of space, and they've got a lot of shorter players. So that gives you like basically an example or a view of how they play. They're not going to be using long passes a lot unless they're spreading the play, and they're not going to be pumping it long balls to a striker, because their striker is Sergio Aguero, who is about 5'8". So it gives you an actual indication of how that team is going to play. Because if they've got a lot of short plays, short passing, quick passing. If they've got a lot more tall players, that probably long balls are going to be a theme. So it gives you a nice indication, coupled with seeing the team's formation. It gives you an actual idea of how that team is going to play, and you can sort of predict how their team will play. So it's a nice way to see a team's tactical system, because the players that are chosen in the lineup will tell you a lot about their team's actual style of play. Another key factor with players is you need to look at the roles that the players have. Like, for example, look at the fullbacks. I don't know if it's a new trend, but if you're looking at the Man City example again, Pep likes to move his fullbacks inside the pitch where they don't actually, push forward as much. Especially, it's a theme with the right side of their fullback, basically the right back. So you need to look at small things like that. Like, look at those themes. Like, are the fullbacks constantly bombing on, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, or are they staying back more, maybe playing a bit deeper? Look at the striker. Is he coming short, or is he just running in behind? Is he linking play? Are they playing with a 10, for example? If they're not playing with a 10 and it's a 4-3-3, what do the two number 8s do? So it's like looking at the players, looking at player roles is another key factor, because certain roles are with certain formations. So if you see a certain player doing that, like for example number 8, going up, playing into the half spaces, that it's a 4-3-3. And it's kind of like you can just basically pick up small little things which will help you or give you more of an understanding of their team style of play. Okay, and the final tip is to look at basically the style of play or the team's tactical system, in the sense of look at off the ball movements as well as on the ball. For example, off the ball, the team that you are basically checking out might be pressing high, or they might be dropping low into a low block. So you need to just look at stuff like that, off the ball movements. When they're attacking, do the wingers spread out wide? Do they come inside more and the fullbacks push up? And it's little things like that, because that'll give you expand on the view that you already have from the previous 2 points. And it'll actually tell you, okay, this team plays very attacking, or they play very defensive. So it's just looking at the team's attacking system and their defensive system. Common defensive systems would be, dropping deeper, low block. Or if you're looking at the high line, if a team presses high, their line usually goes up to the halfway line or just behind the halfway line. So it's stuff like that. You just need to look at the entire team, look at how they move as a team, as a unit. Don't just also be stuck on maybe the forward line. Look at the entire team, because if a team is pressing high, once the front three presses, the entire team will press. So you need to just look at from the front line straight to the back line, and that'll give you a proper view of, okay, this team is high pressing, so they're going to be constantly looking to win the ball back, trying to move players out wide, and that'll give you a greater view. And from there you'll basically have a full understanding of how their team plays, as well as if you're looking at the themes. For example, are they pressing high all the time, or are they just pressing high for that little 5 minutes, or that 5-minute spell, or that spell of the opposition's possession? So it's looking at little things like that, like how commonly are they high pressing? Are they doing it once all the time as much as they can, or are they mid pressing all the time, or just doing it once in a while? And little things like that give you basically a bigger picture, and then you fully understand how a team plays. And once you use those 3 tips, basically you'll be able to tell how most or all of your favorite teams play. This is a great way to just learn more about the game, learn about a specific position, because this can be applied to a player analysis tool, because you will see that how that player integrates into that team's system. So it's a great way to learn whether you just want to become a better footballer, or if you want to go higher up to the pro level. But specifically, if you are in the same situation as me as a free agent and you're looking to learn more about the game, so that if when you get to that chance to go pro and you need to fit into a team system quickly, this will help you. So this is a great way to learn and basically analyze, and it will change the way you look at football matches, because a lot of the times we just watch football games just, you know, for enjoyment, just to see goal. This will help you to look at it from a deeper perspective, and you'll be able to learn more, and from there you'll become a much better footballer. So I just want to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, thumbs up, comment if you want to know anything, and subscribe if you like the videos I'm putting out. And I will be putting out more specific to free agents and how we learn about the game, how we condition ourselves, how we train, all that type of stuff. I'm gonna put out a lot more content in that kind of like, you know, like bubble, because I feel like it's going to be very beneficial for a lot of aspiring pro footballers. So with that being said, I'll see you guys later.